Bienvenidos. Well, hello everyone. So for the past 42 days, I've been learning Spanish. I became very frustrated. And I thought, the way they're teaching me, I have 5 different teachers. I've observed all of them teach, and I said, there's got to be a better way. So I woke up one morning and I said, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to apply lean thinking or 2-second lean principles to the way I'm learning Spanish. I presented it to my Spanish teacher. She thought I was a little crazy, willing to try it though. Trained linguist, went to university. This is what she does professionally. She went along for the experiment. We're 5 days into it now. We've done this for 5 days. And it's going really, really well. I asked her the question, if on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this? I was expecting her to say a 6 or 7. She said a 10. Very, very different way of approaching Español. So here you go. This is a presentation I made for her to make sure she was clear on what my target was and how I wanted to be taught Español. The name of this whole concept is called Estoy Pensando in Español, which means I am thinking in Spanish. This is simply the target of this entire thing. Regal uno, is we do not want you to speak in Español. It seems very contrary. We want you to think in Español. I tell people the problem is everybody starts a business and they want to make money. The key is you need to run your business well and you'll make money. If you think well or effectively in Español, you're going to speak in Español. So that's regla uno. Regla dos. If you are thinking in Español, you will speak in Español. So we really want to make this very clear. Now remember, estoy pensando en Español y divirtiéndome. I'm having fun thinking in Spanish. Regla 3. We will review everything every 10 minutes. So this whole concept, this way of learning, is that we will not pile thing after thing after thing and have medium comprehension.
Or say 14. Diferencia letra escritura. Yesterday, I went, la cajera cashier, reciclable.
We will have perfect comprehension of everything we do before we move forward, so both you feel comfortable and you have a desire to move forward. So we're constantly going to be reviewing all the time to review and make sure you really get this. You'll see the benefit of that in just a minute. Regla 4. Lots and lots of questions, and repito. We're going to have you repeat things over and over again until you absolutely get it. And we're going to ask you questions nonstop to make sure you're really comprehending. We're going to dig deep to make sure you're getting everything we're saying. There will not be any tertiary learning here. It will be 100% or nothing. Regla 5. La pizarra mágica. This is the magic board. This is the heart of the system that we're talking about. Watch this. It's going to blow you away when you see this. So this is the magic board that's up on the front. The teacher walks in. She puts her date up there. We study the date. All the verbos are on the left-hand side. We have the alphabet then. We have pequeños, small words that we use a lot, and then phrases that are very common. The teacher's saying, repito, comprendes? And then vocabulary words. This is the magic board. Now the teacher's going to be writing and we're going to be constructing sentences in this open area here, but we're going to be drawing from the verbos on the left, from the vocabulary on the right, and everything else. Watch how this works. It's going to blow you away. It's so incredible. So let's say we want to say, I'm looking at the boat in the bay. So mirar is the infinitive for to look. You can see it right there. Estoy mirando el barco en el bahía. So we've got everything there constructed. We have the infinitive verb on the left-hand side. El barco, we have the new vocabulary word we wrote down. La bahía, and bahía, the H is kind of silent. So we're going to add the H up there to the alphabet. We're going to review that. It's really, you don't hear it very much. And then en is a pequeño word, which basically means in the bay or in. So estoy mirando el barco en la bahía. You don't even hear that H. So there it is, fully constructed. So let's go to the next step because it's just going to get more and more incredible as we go along. Our next verb is escribir. I'm writing on the board. So how do we say that? Estoy, I am, escribiendo la pizarra mágica. So the pizarra, the double R, we put that in the alphabeto because it has a rolling R sound. And the G, mágica, is kind of silent. Ha ha ha, you don't really hear it very much. Mágica. So we added those to our alphabeto. We added the vocabulary, la pizarra and la mágica. And then escribir on the verbs on the left-hand side. So we've got everything constructed. It's just beautifully laid out because we have a system. Now look at this. We're a week later. We're starting on the board. We got a new date up there. We have all of our verbos. We have our alphabet, our pequeño words, our phrases, our vocabulary, and we're ready to start building this out. You will not believe what's going to happen next. It just keeps getting more and more interesting. Estoy mirando el barco en la bahía. Now, voy a mirar el barco en la bahía. What does voy a mean? Voy a simply means I'm going to look at the boat in the bay. Voy a mirar el barco en la bahía. You take voy a and you add it to all those verbos and you don't have to conjugate them because you just use the infinitive. Voy a, I'm going to think. I am going to speak. I am going to eat. I am going to drink. I am going to sleep. I am going to work. Voy a trabajar. I'm going to work. How cool is that? So simple because you have a system that allows it to be simply understood and comprehended. No struggle. Okay, you're another week later. Here we go. It's just going to keep getting better. We have a new date up on the board. We're talking about the date. The teacher's going over how to say the numbers. All the verbos come up, the alphabet, the pequeño word, the phrases, the vocabulary. Your system is built out and very clear and easy to understand with no ambiguity. Tango K. What does Tango K mean? I have to look at the boat in the bay. Tengo que mirar el barco en la bahía. Tengo que, you add it to all of our verbos. Tengo que, I have to think, I have to speak, I have to eat, I have to drink, and I have to sleep. So easy. Tengo que pensar, tengo que hablar, tengo que comer, tengo que beber, tengo que dormir. All so simple. You're using the verbs, and now you're able to develop sentences and thinking in Español. Estoy pensando en Español. I am thinking in Español because we have a beautiful system that allows it to be very, very easy. But it's not going to end there. The teacher gets up in front. She says, tell me something else you like to do, Paul. And I said, I love to swim in the pool. Oh, you do? Well, guess what? How would you say that? Estoy nadando en la piscina. So you add nadar, which is the infinitive for swim, and you add la piscina, the vocabulary for the pool. Estoy nadando en la piscina. But guess what? It gets better. Voy a nadar en la piscina. Voy a nadar en la piscina. I'm going to swim in the pool. But guess what? It gets better. Tengo que. I have to swim in the pool. Tengo que nadar en la piscina. Again, the system allows you to be successful so you can construct and build out all your thinking in Español without ever struggling. And of course, everything here that we're doing is being updated in the master spreadsheet on a day-by-day basis. So every night you go home and you're able to study your notes in 10 minutes and review everything you did in your Español clase. So if that's not good enough, everything's saved in the cloud. Now you open up your phone, you can scroll down through your master list, or you can go to your day by day. It's all there for you to study, whether or not you're sitting in a cafe, on your couch, you have your laptop out, everything's available, updated in real time for the entire class. It's just amazing. Now watch this, it even gets better. So it's in the evening after your Español class. You pull out your laptop or you pull out your phone and you start to look at what you learned that day. And you say, you know what, I want to add some more sentences using limpiando and the relevant things that I do every day. So in this particular day, I cleaned my bicycle in the evening because it was full of grease. So what did I do? Estoy limpiando mi bicicleta la noche. I typed it in there. I add the vocabulary, I add the phrases, I think of a couple more examples. It's really quite incredible. And the best thing is, if I make a mistake, the next day I pull out my laptop, pull out my phone, and I review it with the teacher. And the teacher can say, oh, that's correct, or you need to change this a little bit. It's just absolutely over the top when you think about it. You updated your phrases, you update your vocabulary, you build your system, and you become stronger and stronger in your understanding of Español. Then you walk into class the next day, the teacher puts it up on the big screen TV, and we review everything. So it is rock solid, your understanding of everything you're learning. So simple, day by day, updated, a master list, no cryptic notes. You're not struggling to do anything anymore because everything is sequentially and thoughtfully laid out in a system with zero ambiguity. You build it every day. You learn more vocabulary, more verbos. You learn how to construct it and say things, all relevant to what you do on a daily basis. Pequeños cambios todos los días. Tanya's writing along in script, and all of a sudden I say, I can't really read what she's writing. The letters are not clear. I say, I think we should not use cursive writing. We should only print. By printing, we have clarity, zero ambiguity. This is the way you're going to learn Spanish with this system. Regla 6, 3S'ing every 3 minutes. What do you mean 3S'ing, Paul? I mean that beautiful board, that magic board that we're working on is going to be spotless and clean. Every 3 minutes we're going to go up with our rag and we're going to clean everything. We're not going to have scribbles all over the board so the student's confused. No, we're going to be cleaning and keeping it perfectly organized with our verbs, with our nouns, with everything 3S'd on a regular basis in a routine, so there's no way anybody's ever confused on where we've been and where we're going. Regla 7, limpio and organized. So the board will be perfectly organized and clean at all times. So the student is never confused where we've gone, where we're going, and where we are. Regla 8. Lots of English. Now this is totally counter to what most teachers tell you. They want to speak very little English, which is insanity. That student's totally confused and it doesn't make any sense. The teacher will know exactly when and how much to transition from English to Spanish based on the comprehension level of the students. And in this system, they start to comprehend so quickly that the transition will be very seamless. But you do not walk into class and start speaking in Spanish and hoping the students understand, which all of my teachers did, which is insanity. I was like, I have no clue what they're talking about. Regla 9. Only in the present active tense. So for the first week, we're going to focus on the present active tense. I am running, I am swimming, I am thinking, I am speaking. But after we've mastered that, if it takes a week or two, then we're going to move on to the future tense and the past tense. And you will not believe it because we have the coolest tricks to solve those difficult problems of learning those. And it's going to blow you away when you see how we're going to teach it to you. You're going to be an expert in Spanish so quick you won't believe it. Regla 10. Keep all tools limpio and organizado. Very organized. I walk into these classes and the teachers are looking for their pens don't write, they're looking for a piece of paper to wipe off the board. It's absolute insanity. It's like teaching someone how to do a process and not having the tools you need to do the process. It's insanity. So everything will be carefully laid out, the quality of the pens will be defined, and we will be able to see clearly what's being written on the board. Regla 11. Only perfect tools. So my teacher, we're right on the board, and look at the top pen. Little faded, little difficult to see. I said, no, eso es no bueno. Muy bueno. I get a brand new pen, crisp writing so the student can see and there's no issues. Regla 12. We will stop. You must stop. Absolutely a must. We will not continue on with any lesson unless everybody's on board. This is how we're going to stop. You're going to raise your hand. So when the teacher's talking to you and telling a story or whatever she's doing and your head starts to hurt, you're going to say, no, hold your hand up. No, stop. I need to understand. And then when you're ready to go, put your hand down. She continues to talk. Oh, put your hand up again. You make sure that everything that's done in the class you understand by using your hand to signal. We're going to teach you. At Lexus, they actually teach the new employees for 1 month to stop, call, wait. People are not comfortable with stopping the entire class, let alone stopping a production line of millions of dollars worth of cars. Toyota knows this, so they deliberately teach their employees to raise their hand and call stop, call, wait, so that they never produce a defect. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to teach you to stop in a moment's notice. The second you don't understand anything the teacher's saying, you raise your hand, it's over with. We stop. Regla 13, deep learning. We are not looking for surface learning to get you familiar with a few things and then move on to the next things you could really not be sure about. We're going to drill deep. If it takes us a half hour or 5 minutes to learn the date, we're going to take a half hour or 5 minutes. If it takes 3 hours to learn the date, we're going to take 3 hours. If we're going to stay on one verb for 3 hours or 30 seconds, it's whatever it takes to make sure everyone in the class is 100% clear on what's going on. There's a great saying in Spanish. It's called El aprendizaje está contigo. This means we want this learning to go with you. We don't want you to kind of learn it in class and then walk away and kind of think. We want it to be tattooed on you so you know everything we're teaching you, and you walk out the classroom and you're using it because you're so familiar with it and you're so comfortable with it. This is a very important point. Regla 14, Hansei. Hansei is a Japanese word to reflect. We want, as the teachers and the students, to reflect constantly what is not going right and how can we improve it. We are not satisfied with anything we're doing. And this is only the 5th day we've done this teaching this way, and we know it's going to change hundreds, if not thousands of times, but this is just an outline so we can continue to improve through the Hansei process. Regla 15, pequeños cambios todos los días. We will make non-stop small changes every day to the way we learn and the way we present the Español language. A very, very important concept. Vamos, let's do it. This is the outline of the new way that we're learning Español, and it is absolutely incredible. The results have been astounding, and my teacher, a professional linguist, will not go back to the old way.